Good morning, children. Welcome to the English class. So we have already seen a few exercises from the chapter The Tale of Peter Rabbit. Today, let's see the rest of the exercises. So before we move on to the questions, let's revise a few grammar lessons. So you have already learned about the simple present tense, simple past tense and simple future tense. Today, let's see what is present continuous tense and past continuous tense. So when do we use the present continuous tense? When you talk about an action that is happening right now, an ongoing action, or an action that is going to happen in the near future, or a temporary situation. In such cases, we use the tense present continuous tense. A few examples are given in your textbook itself. There you can see Peter Rabbit is running to Mr. McGregor's garden. The cow is eating grass. I am going to the park now. So the first two sentences depict a situation where an action is happening right now. And in the third sentence, I am going to the park now. So it's going to happen very soon. So these are examples of present continuous tense. Now the next is past continuous tense, and this tense we use to describe an action that was ongoing in the past. An action that was happening in the past. It might have went on for some time and it might have got interrupted with some other action. A few examples are given in your textbook. Peter Rabbit was feeling unwell yesterday. So it is not happening right now, it was an ongoing action in the past. Peter Rabbit was feeling unwell yesterday and it was raining when the postman arrived. So it was raining and then some other action happened. The postman arrived. So that's a moment of interruption. So that is an example that an action went on for some time and it was interrupted by another action. It was raining when the postman arrived. So these were examples of past continuous tense. Now, just below that table, you can see a small table where you can see the general format for present continuous tense and past continuous tense. So, what is the general format for writing a sentence in present continuous tense? You have to write the subject, then it is followed by are, is or are plus the ing form of the verb plus the object. He is writing a letter. She is walking to school. I am cooking food. These are examples of present continuous tense. Now, what about the general format for writing a sentence in past continuous tense? You have to write the subject, which should be followed by either was or were plus the ing form of the verb plus the object. I was walking fast. They were playing cricket yesterday. These are examples of sentences in past continuous tense. So let's keep these things in our mind and move on to the exercises given in the textbook. So just below these lessons, you can see section A. Now read the dialogue between Ratna and Rishi and underline the verbs in the present continuous tense. You are given a conversation there and you are asked to underline the words or phrases which are given in the present continuous tense form. You can go through this conversation right now like an activity and you have to underline the phrases which are given in present continuous tense. Do this as an activity now. Please pause the video, finish it and come back. Hope you are done with that. Let's see the conversation between Ratna and Rishi. Ratna says, Rishi, do you remember that we are performing the play next week? See the phrase? We are performing. So that is given in present continuous tense. The subject is we, then you have are, then the ing form of the verb. We are performing. Performing is the ing form of the verb perform. Clear? Now, the next is Rishi's turn. Rishi says, yes, I am finalizing the script now. So, I am finalizing the script now. I am finalizing. I is the subject followed by am, and finalizing is the ing form of the verb finalize. So I am finalizing is the phrase that is given in present continuous tense in this sentence. The next one, Ratna. Ratna says, as you know, I am directing the play. Please show me the script by tomorrow. So the phrase, I am directing, that is the phrase given in present continuous form. Then Rishi says, who is looking after the props? Here, is looking. Who is looking? That is the phrase given in present continuous form. Then Ratna says, Tavish, Winnie is taking care of the costumes. So, is taking care of or is taking, that is the verbs or the phrase given in present continuous form. Hope you got it right. Now, let's move on to the next set of exercise. B. Read about the following incident that occurred in Mabel's school and underline the verbs in the past continuous tense. All of you please read the passage and you have to underline the phrases or the verbs given in past continuous tense in this exercise. Pause the video, finish this activity and come back. Hope you are done with that. Now let's read the passage. It was the last day before summer holidays began. The children were finishing their English classwork while the teacher was checking their notebooks. So in the sentence, the children were finishing. The children is the subject here and it is followed by were plus ing form of the verb finish, which is finishing. So were finishing, that is given in past continuous tense. And also here was checking. The teacher was checking. Subject is the teacher and was checking is given in past continuous form. Let's continue reading. Suddenly, Pranav heard a cat purr. He looked around and jumped up. A small brown cat was stretching itself on the windowsill after a nice long sleep. So here, the small brown cat was stretching. The subject is a small brown cat and the verb is was stretching. So it is was stretching, the verb given in past continuous form. Pranav rubbed his eyes. Was he dreaming? Was he really seeing Monks, the gardener's cat? So, was he dreaming? That is a question given in past continuous form. And was he really seeing? Was he really seeing? Was followed by the ing form of the verb. So, this is also given in past continuous form. The cat purred loudly and lay down again. Before long, he was snoring loudly. He was snoring loudly. Was snoring. So, that is given in the past continuous form. Was snoring is the verb given in past continuous form in this sentence. Now, the whole class was laughing. The children were bending over to look at Monks who couldn't be bothered with all the noise. Studies were forgotten. So, the whole class was laughing. Subject is the whole class and the verb is was laughing. So, was laughing is the verb given in this sentence in past continuous form. And also, the children were bending. The verb were bending is in past continuous form. So, I hope you got all them correct. Now, let's move on to the next grammar lesson. It's about future continuous tense. So, we use future continuous tense when we want to talk about an ongoing action that is happening in the future. You have a few examples given in the textbook. Look at these sentences. My sister will be going to the music shop tomorrow. So, it is something that will be happening in the future. Will be going. She will be joining a new school in July. It hasn't happened yet. It's not happening now. It's going to happen in the future. Will be joining. So, these are sentences which are given in future continuous form. So, what is the general format for a sentence in future continuous tense? The subject plus will be plus the ing form of the verb plus the object. Like in these sentences, my sister is the subject, will be plus ing form of the verb that is going. It is the ing form of the verb go. So subject plus will be plus ing form of the verb plus the object. So what is the general format for a sentence in future continuous tense? The subject plus will be plus the ing form of the verb plus the object. Like in these sentences, my sister will be going to the music shop tomorrow. She will be joining a new school in July. In the first sentence, my sister is the subject. Then that is followed by will be plus the ing form of the verb, which is the verb given in ing form here. It is going. Going is the ing form of the verb go. And that is followed by the object, which is the music shop. So, my sister will be going to the music shop tomorrow. And in the second sentence, the subject is she. And that is followed by will be and followed by the ing form of the verb join, which is joining. A new school, that is the object. She will be joining a new school in July. So, I hope you are clear with the concept of future continuous tense. Now, keep this in mind and let's move on to the next set of exercise, which is section C. Underline the verbs in the future continuous tense in these sentences. Go through these sentences carefully, then underline the verbs given in future continuous tense. Do this as an activity now. Please pause the video, finish it and come back. Hope you are done with that. Now let's discuss this question. The first sentence, I will be watching my favorite cartoon show this evening. So, will be watching is the verb given in future continuous tense. Then question number 2, I will be eating dinner by 7 tonight. So, will be eating is the verb given in future continuous tense. And which is the subject here? I is the subject here, followed by will be plus ing form of the verb plus the object. Now, let's see the third one. Mary will be going to the market with her aunt. Will be going is the verb given in future continuous tense. Now, fourth one, Rani will be performing before an audience. Will be performing is the verb given in future continuous form. Now, fifth one, my father will be joining us towards the end of the trip. Will be joining, that is given in future continuous tense. Question 6, Raj will be cooking for his guests on Saturday. Will be cooking, that is given in future continuous tense. So, I hope you are clear with these questions. Now, let's move on to the next section, which is the listening activity. And it's about sequencing or ordering or numbering the events in the correct order. So, let's read the question. Listen to the story Miss Moppet from Beatrix Potter. Now, number these sentences in the correct sequence. The first and the last have been done for you. So, there are a total of 9 sentences given there, and the first sentence in the story is given or marked as number 1 here, and the last sentence in the story is marked number 9 here. So, I am going to read out that story to you. Listen to that carefully. This will definitely improve your listening skills. Then after listening to it carefully, you have to number these sentences in the correct order. So, let me read out this story to you. So, you can do this as an activity. So, please listen carefully. Miss Moppet thinks she has heard a mouse. The mouse peeps out from behind the cupboard and makes fun of Miss Moppet. Miss Moppet misses the mouse and hits her own head. The mouse watches Miss Moppet from the top of the cupboard. The mouse comes sliding down the bell pull. Miss Moppet looks at him through a hole in the duster. Miss Moppet ties him up in the duster. The mouse wriggles out and runs away. The mouse dances a jig on the top of the cupboard. So, I hope you listen to it carefully. Now, you can order or sequence the sentences in the correct order. So, you can do this as an activity. Now, let's move on to the next exercise. It's about speaking. So, this is for improving your speaking skills, and the subject here is apologizing. Imagine that you are Peter Rabbit. Your mother is very upset with your behavior and has asked you to apologize to Mr. McGregor. Make notes about what you plan to say. Here are some phrases. I'm so sorry. I promise not to. I did not mean to. I hope. I only wanted to. Please don't be angry, and so on. So when you do something that will upset someone else, what do? You have to apologize to them. You have to say sorry to them. And you can apologize to someone else in different ways. You can just say sorry or I'm sorry, or you can use phrases like these given here. I promised not to. I did not mean to. I hope. I only wanted to. So this one also you can do as an activity. You have to imagine that you are Peter Rabbit and your mother got very upset with your behavior and asked to apologize to Mr. Grigger. Why? Because Peter Rabbit had gone to Mr. McGregor's farm to eat his vegetables despite his mother's warning. So this behavior had upset his mother very much. So in this question, you are asked to suppose or imagine that you are Peter Rabbit who went to the farmer's garden. And you have to make notes about what you plan to say. You have to make notes on how you are going to apologize to your mother. This one also you can do as an activity in your notebook. Then the next section is a writing exercise, and it's about writing informal letters. Imagine that you are Peter Rabbit and you are lying in bed recovering from your cold. Write a letter to your cousin Benjamin Bunny and tell him all about your adventures in Mr. McGregor's garden. Refer to page 12 for a sample. So this exercise is for getting you enough practice to write an informal letter. And what is an informal letter? So when you are writing a friendly letter to a friend or a relative, it's called an informal letter. And there is a format for writing an informal letter. You have already learned this format in your early classes. So I'll show you an example of how to write an informal letter. First, at the top left side, you have to write the address of the sender. If you are writing the letter, you have to write your address. And it should be followed by the date on which you are writing. Then that should be followed by the greeting. Dear this person, dear that person. What do you call that person? And date should be followed by the greeting. And below the greeting, you have to write the body of the letter. And generally, write the body of the letter in 3 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, you have to ask for the well-being of the person. How this person is, how he or she is doing, and what is happening with their life. You have to ask their well-being in the first paragraph. And the second paragraph, what you have to describe, why you are writing that letter. What is the main reason for writing such a letter to that person? That you have to describe in the second paragraph. And in the third paragraph, you have to write the conclusion and end the letter. And below the third paragraph, you have to write the complimentary clause. For example, yours lovingly, yours sincerely. These are called complimentary clauses. And below that, you write the name of the sender. If you are writing the letter, you have to write your name. So this is the general format for writing an informal letter. And there is one sample informal letter which was taught to you in your first chapter. This is that informal letter. This is in page number 12 of your English reader. You can refer to this as a sample. With this sample, you are supposed to write an informal letter. Imagining that you are Peter Rabbit and you have to write the letter to your cousin Benjamin Bunny and tell about your adventures in Mr. McGregor's farm. So this one also is an activity for you. You have to write that informal letter in your notebook. Then the next section is My Word Bank. You have to join the words that go together. And you are given some random words here. I'll show you an example. The words sand and bank can be combined to form the word sandbank. The words cucumber and frame can be combined to form cucumber frame. The words jumped up can be combined to form the word jumped up. So similarly, you can form different words using the combinations of words given here. This one also you can do as an activity in your notebook. So you have to finish or complete the listening activity, the speaking activity, the writing activity, and also the My Word Bank activity. Once you are done with all these activities, please do take a picture and send us to Teams. So that's all for today, children. We'll meet in the next class with a new chapter. Until then, bye.